Hey everyone, welcome back to 503 Houses. I'm starting off with a curve shot.
Nerf this!
Wow, barely a few minutes in and we're already getting back into the Overwatch stuff, which is funny because ever since they introduced that new system, I've kind of been going off the game. Because I was getting back into it with Sigma, and now, oh boy, I don't like the new system because I've seen so many cases of, basically the new system is like, you can choose to go tank, beforehand you could choose to go tank, DPS, or, what do you call it? Healings. I know this is about Fire Emblem, but I just want to talk about Overwatch time a bit. And basically, depending on who you pick will determine how long it takes to get a match. Obviously, DPS is the longest wait. I mean, luckily for me, I usually play tank and healer to begin with, and oh my god, it's fucking crits.
Nerf this!
Literally a diva bomb. Boom.
As expected.
But yeah, you're gonna see that a lot for the first bit. But like because of that. Because it's locked to 2-2-2, like if you take tank, you can't pick anything else throughout the rest of the fight. Oh, there goes a crit again. Which is really annoying, you can't switch out to like, go against a team comp. I've seen a lot of people who either A, don't know how to run healer, and just pick healer because they have to, and B, don't know how to run tank because they just have to, which is, and it really, yeah, it leads to a lot of death, let's just tell you that much. Anyway, you know, I mean, that's just me, maybe it'll get better. Yeah, also, I do make a blunder in this chapter again, because I didn't know that if you killed all the things, you definitely would go away. I didn't get the March Ring. I got the Lemon Sword, but I didn't get the March Ring, which kind of sucks, because again, +1 move is always nice. But, I thought, like, you know, I'm not going to lose my shit. It's just annoying. And get these fucking diva bombs.
Nerf this!
It's just annoying. But again, 3 houses. It's also one of those games, kind of like Genealogy, where if you don't know stuff preemptively, you can get really fucked in the ass, and to me, that isn't good game design. But obviously, they don't want to give everything away, and it does encourage replay value. But it's more of a nitpick for me. But it's between a complaint and a nitpick. It's mostly nitpicky, but at the same time, I don't think it's the best design in the world. I mean, Genealogy was worse because you get way more fucked over. But still, it's just one of those things that I like, really? But oh well. And yeah, so I believe it is 11 sword? Yeah, 11 sword. Dorothy is like, oh, I found my sword, darling. This is going to be good. I can't remember who kills this dude. Anyway, so, yeah. And we'll get, actually, speaking of the time, yeah, here we go. I'll get back to that soon. So, there goes Kaz with the hand axe. I'm just like, okay, so Death Knight's ready. I can take him down whenever I'm ready. I wonder what's going to happen next. And chapter's over. I mean, unless I read it wrong where it said rout the enemies, but then that's my fault.
Halt! You're having a bit too much fun.
You are getting in the way.
Again, where do they get those voice consortium things? I'm pretty sure. Well, again, it's mostly probably magic.
Understood.
We will cross
Yeah.
paths.
He used to be again. Death Knight used to be intimidating until I kicked your ass, and also until people discovered Lystifia was a thing.
Are they both okay? The enemy's withdrawn.
Yeah, so that happened. I'm just like, really? Gosh darn it. And yeah, I was the MVP. Why? Because I crit so fucking much. Yeah, that's why there's a bit of thing, because I couldn't, yeah. So, yeah.
They're pale and their pulses are slow. Still.
So that's the end of that bit. Obviously, you know, the Flame Emperor's up to more and more and more. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, where the hell were you? I was
within that
skiing.
secret passage. The culprits were the Death Knight and what was his name? Ah, the Flame Emperor.
Him, you assume too
Sadly,
much.
They got away.
Did you just assume the Flame Emperor's gender?
Right, Professor?
We will take these two to the infirmary.
Yeah, so,
Please
sorry,
inform
what I was going to get to about 3 houses, one of the things I'm so glad it did, and one of the things that makes me so captivated by the time skip story is, well, this is just for Black Eagles. When you either choose for or against, you can talk to the students after the whole aftermath thing and see how they're doing. And oh my god, I love how, depending on the thing, everyone's response is different, but also how no one is 100% happy with whatever choice is made. Like, if you go against Edelgard, like, you know, obviously, like, Petra's going on about how Bridget will not be under the Empire, we'll fight against them. Ferdinand's like, she's gone off the hook, we need to,
Please
you
allow
know,
me to express my eternal
we need
gratitude once
to,
more.
what's it called, put her in a place and stuff like that. But then you've got Caspar who's like, oh shit, I've got to fight against my dad. I mean, we're not close, but I don't want to fight him. Leon's like the same, I don't want to fight against my dad either. It's not easy for them. And again, I found I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And then when you go to the side of Edelgard's side, you know, Ferdinand's like, I will side of Edelgard, but at the same time, she stripped my father of all he had. He wasn't a great man, but he's lost everything. And then Bernadette's the same, where like, my father's lost everything, but at the same time, you know, and he's under house arrest, so I'm probably going to stick with the army so that I don't have to go back to him. And even Petra's like, we may have been enemies before, but we're allies now. Bridget will do its best to help Edelgard and so on. So it's interesting how everyone's response and perspective changes depending on who you pick, but at the same time no one is 100% happy. And even the NPCs are like that. Sorry, I'm kind of talking over this bit, but even the NPCs, like, some of them's like, oh, I kind of joined this on a whim, but I don't know if this is the best long-term course. And some, like, I don't know about Edelgard. Clearly she had to do this for a reason. And even, like, the responses from other houses, like, you know, they're worried about stuff. And even, like, what was really interesting, because I had Blue Lion, I had Ingrid and Mercedes on my side. When they leave, Ingrid's like, I'm trying to convince my family to join us, but they won't listen, so I've got to fight against them. Mercedes is like, I know this is horrible, but clearly this is the will of the goddess. They didn't want the church to be like this. So it's so interesting to see how different people respond. And again, I love it when Fire Emblem games do this. I love when the secondary characters are more involved in the story just through their interactions. Like, I love that FE7 did it. I love that Echoes did it. I love that Fire Emblem Path of Radiance did it. And Three Houses really does it. Again, cast is just so great. And we get Little Flame on our side. As a unit, alright, from what I know, from what I've seen, Flame is an excellent magic unit, but she sucks at everything else. Like, again, her magic and res are amazing, but everything else is just not good. She may have good charm, though. I don't know. Or charisma, whatever it is. So, Flame is, like, if you want another healer, Flame is, you know, a very, very good choice. But again, probably not your best to stick to the healer or, you know, Dark Mage route, because you can make a Pegasus Knight, and she has lances, but obviously it's kind of wasted. If someone knows, like, ways, there is actual objective ways to use Flame, well, or just ways to use Flame, some stats she actually does really well in, then please let me know, that would be awesome. But Flame, you know, she is what she is. She's adorable and thingamajig. So this part is mostly just story-based and 1 or 2 supports, I think? Yeah. Also, Monica's back. Who's Monica? Let's just say she's already in Hero somehow. Yeah.
Is also a student.
And this really, after this whole thing, I don't know what it is. Okay, based on what I've seen so far, alright, while I think Rhea is actually one of the better Fire Emblem quote-unquote antagonists, she is an interesting antagonist, she is an interesting character, she is a bit more three-dimensional, and stuff like that. I'm not saying she's bad, no, I think she's good. I want to sucker punch that woman in the face so bad. There's just something about her attitude, the way she does things, and also her motive that really irks me. I mean, again, she's not, like, horrible the way Garen is, or, like, Desmond, but there's just something about her that I just want to sucker punch her so bad. I mean, granted, if I had gauntlets, I could do that. But, you know, at the same time, I do think Rhea is a very interesting, very well-written character, so I'm not bashing her for being a bad character, I'm just bashing her because there's elements of her I just really don't like. So again, that is not a bad sign. Just because, again, if you're bashing characters just because you don't like certain traits of them rather than them being bad, that's fine. That's just more of a personal preference, I think. If you're bashing a character because they're poorly written, that's a bad sign of the character. That's a sign that obviously the character is poorly written. And so far, Three Houses doesn't really have that. Again, at worst, there's Cyril. But even Cyril's not the worst thing in the world. There's still bits to like about him. He's still a bit of a clueless but cute in his own right young lad.
Sorry, but I've got my own mission, and it's far from Gronder Field.
I'm not going to be around for much longer because, you know, dad trope. Oh yeah, so we've got the Battle of the Eagle and Lion coming up next. This is definitely one of the most interesting maps I did and things, just to fight against some of my students and see which ones are broken and which ones are shit. Spoiler warning, Hilda was a pain in the ass. Like, oh my god, Hilda was scary. What do you call it?
But if something like that ever happens to me.
But also, yeah, before that, we've got a lot of parallels to do. We've got Eloise's one and we've got Ingrid's one, which have already shown up in the live stream. Yeah, I can't believe the live stream's making more progress than the Let's Play. But then again, it's just things. You know, at least I can do Let's Plays in multiple parts, whereas live stream is one per session. Yeah.
Then again, I guess
but also, the live streams are 2 hours long, so I can get more covered, whereas the Let's Plays are about 15 to 20 minutes. 30 if I'm feeling generous. Well, generous in which case I've got a shit ton to cover,
Part
and I can't really separate them.
White clouds.
Because generally I like to separate Let's Plays into parts of either they're completely map focused or they're completely story focused. Because usually if you mix the two, it kind of disrupts the flow. I mean, this one, there was a little bit of map at the beginning, but just a little bit. But yeah, the Battle of the Eagle Online is just a nice representation for the game. It's mostly, again, when it comes to the main narrative, it's mostly Blue Lions versus Black Eagles in terms of just the actual grand scheme of things. The Golden Deer are kind of like doing their own things. Like, we're not part of this. We just want to kind of live peacefully, so leave us the fuck alone. Whereas the Blue Lions and Black Eagles are literally at each other's throats, especially because of how Dimitri feels about Edelgard. It would be so weird if you could support Dimitri and Edelgard. That'd be the weirdest shit in the world. Obviously, that's not the case. Okay. So we have Paralogs. Oh, and we have Petra's support. And then Petra's interesting because she's got so much placed on her, and she's just trying to do the best she can. Again, she's making the best out of her situation because yeah, she's essentially a hostage, and obviously she probably does feel homesick. But at the same time, she's like, look, I'm here because I'm a princess, so obviously I have some sort of status, and if I show just how wonderful the people of Bridget could be, that could set a good example. So she's thinking long term, and she's thinking very selflessly. Which is really, really nice, because again, it would have been so easy for Free Houses to do the whole, Petra doesn't like what they do, it's like, oh, this is so much better back home, oh, this back home was better, oh, I wish I was back home, oh, you know, stuff like that, but with this, no, she's just making the most out of, you know, where she is and all that jazz. She's not like, oh, complaining, whining, and all that jazz, and I like that. Again, Free Houses is able to avoid so many common tropes with characters based on their disposition, and I really, really like it. They don't go down the cliche route, they actually make them, you know, interesting and make them feel human. And I like that a lot of them, because of where they are in the story, a lot of them are thinking about their futures and how, like, it's going to impact, how their choices are going to impact in the long run, which is Free Houses it's essentially the whole theme of Free Houses, you know. Do you follow your heart? Do you follow your loyalty? What's the best course to do in life? What is the best long-term solution? And so on, because, you know, a lot of Free Houses is based on the long term, like, when you make a choice, you got to think about how it's going to affect you all the way down the line, not just, oh, how's it going to affect you in this moment. So, it is very interesting in that regard. And obviously each character is thinking like that. Dorothy is thinking about the future, Ferdinand's trying to keep his household up and running, Casper's trying to prove himself, Petra's trying to improve the position of Bridget, and so on. Everyone's trying to, you know, and Bernadette is obviously trying to get over her anxiety. Everyone is trying to move forward. It's just a case of how do you move forward, and, you know, the consequences of trying to move forward. So it makes Free Houses such an interesting game, and I love it for it. I really, really, again, I could easily see this becoming my favourite farming game. It probably is at this point. I won't make an official statement until I've beaten all 3 pathways, but I think it's a safe bet, purely just from a content standpoint. There's just so much to do, and it's just so strong. Obviously, it ain't perfect. Again, as far as map design, it's probably one of the, from what I played, it's probably one of the bottom 5. Like, again, it's better than Echoes, better than Rev, probably on about the same level as, say, Birthright and maybe a bit better than Binding Blade. Probably around Birthright level. So, you know, but a lot of Fire Emblem games I think do better in terms of map design. But everything else, like balance, I think this one does it best. Difficulty, I think this one also does it excellently well. Content, yes. Characters, yes, no question. Story, you know, post-time skip. You know, it's not like Tellius where I was just invested all the time, whereas this one is more so post-time skip I get really invested. Anything else? Oh, Battle Animations, obviously, better than Shadow Dragon, and so on, better than Path of Radiance, but not better than Echoes, not better than Sprite Games, and not better than Radiant Dawn, or better than Awakening, or better than Conquest.
Thanks to all of you.
Yeah, my mother's back and Hanneman's back, and see, they're not joining in with the Battle of the Eagle Online, although all things considered, they don't think they'd be much help. So yeah, I get free reign to give us an unfair advantage. But again, even without me, I'm sure my team would have been absolutely fine, because, spoilers, Edelgard kind of goes nuts. Edelgard literally asserts her dominance because she's a boss-ass bitch. Bitch. Oh, Edelgard, so awesome. Yeah, that does...
Oh my, look at you.
It did feel weird, it's like, it just doesn't feel fair. Well, you certainly taught some of them well, because, you know, some of the students are a real threat. Others, not so much. So yeah, we make Hubert a mage. I would have become a dark mage, but we ain't got no fucking dark seals. That's why he was like the last one to become a This third tier class. This is third tier. Because second tier is just, the magic user, and then thing is just, noble commoner. So yeah, that, as they say, is that. So anyway, next time, I believe it's a lot more supports and paralogs that we're going to do before we get to the chapter, but that'll be interesting to explore. And I think Ingrid's one is up first. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I think the next part is mostly supports, but at the same time, it supports with a lot of the ladies, so that's good. Until then, and tea time and so on. Until then, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you next time. Take care and have a wonderful day.